And Connie asks, Father, in Mass, are we supposed to hold our hands during the Our Father? The answer is no. So it's interesting how the hand holding came about. Holding hands during the Our Father is actually it's something that developed in the Protestant churches because they wanted in their service a way to express their communion, their unity between the members of the body of Christ. And so when they were praying, they would hold hands. For us as Catholics, we don't hold hands during the Our Father because we have the source of our communion sitting right there in front of us while we're praying the Our Father, namely the Eucharist, the sacrament of unity, and the sacrament of communion, Holy Communion. And so we don't have this kind of outward sign of communion when the reality is right there. And so that's why theologically it doesn't really make sense to hold hands during the Our Father. And then I think just very practically, the holding hands during the Our Father isn't good because it actually just turns into a distraction. Have you ever been holding hands there and you reach out and you hold someone's hands and their hands are like nasty, sweaty? You're like, oh, that's disgusting. And all you can think about is the nasty, sweaty hands while you're trying to pray the Our Father, or the other way around where you're like, oh, my hands are kind of sweaty. Like it's hot in here. This is kind of weird. I hope I'm not all slimy for that person. Or, you hold their hands and you're like, oh, wow, they have really warm hands. Or, oh gosh, that's cold. Or, the person next to you does the little like double squeeze thing. And then you're like, well, how do I respond? Am I supposed to like single squeeze back, or do I double squeeze, or do I triple squeeze? Like what happens then? Or that really awkward moment where like you're not like next to the other person, but you're not that far away. Like you could maybe hold their hand all the way out there, but not holding hands during the Our Father practically it is just a big distraction as well. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense from the practical point of view. And then lastly, from the liturgy, in the liturgy, in the ordinary form, the Mass that most of us attend on a daily or on a regular basis, there are rubrics for the people. So that means that there are rules for how the people are supposed to conduct themselves, when they're supposed to sit, when they're supposed to hold hands, when they're supposed to do all these different things, what they're supposed to say. There are rules for the people, and it does not say anything about the people holding hands during the Our Father. It does talk about certain gestures and things of the sort that the people should do at different times, but it doesn't say anything about the holding hands at the Our Father. And so if it doesn't say anything, then that means nothing is done. You just continue praying as normal.